All right. So my question to all of you is, what is your mission? And then how do you get me and others, your customers, your partners, your employees, to believe and join in your mission? And each of you have that potential to have identified a mission and to articulate it. And it's a matter of connecting to that and starting from that place for your company. And then building from there. And that gives you a great amount of an advantage in terms of being potentially successful in the Silicon Valley versus taking more of a mercenary approach. Final comments. Marcelo asked me a great question in an interview earlier today, which is, what's one word that characterizes Geek Camp? And the one word for me is change. And the reason why is that, first off, it's about personal change. Is that we see you guys come in at the beginning of the week, and we see transformations. We see that you start to think differently. You start to behave differently. You start to do things differently. You start to pick up on what these amazing mentors are telling you. And it's also then about the change that your product can bring to your customers, right? You're actually improving lives. You're doing good things for those who are interacting with you and your company and your products. And then the other thing is that if you think about people who have come to Geek Camp and come to San Francisco, we've had a couple who've never been on an airplane before. They'd never left Chile before in their entire lives, and they spent a month in the Silicon Valley. And I think about their kids and their grandkids and their neighbors and their friends and their cousins and how they're going to be impacted by just that one experience of having spent time in the Silicon Valley, because you come back thinking differently. You come back with relationships and friendships that will last a lifetime. And if you imagine the impact that that will have on the culture of a country, you have the ability to change an entire nation based on what you're doing here today. So we're really proud of you. We're looking forward to seeing some amazing companies and presentations this week and look forward to working with you. So thank you much.
All right. So one of the things I remember from the, not the last, but the previous trip to San Francisco was having John receiving us in UC Berkeley, Max from Amacromo, who didn't speak very well English, but pitching his company in a perfect English in front of you 20 feet away. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. These guys really changed their lives. And I can tell you, we've been doing that, but we want to make money of you too. So, okay, Alan, your turn. Come on, guys. A big applause for Alan Bancroft.
Hi, everyone. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Alan Weinkrantz. I live in San Antonio, Texas. And I've spent the last 30 years, and time kind of flies, doing sort of very, very traditional media relations, public relations, really at the beginning of the personal computer through various phases in various waves, the PC, the network PC, the rise of VoIP, security, a lot of fabless semiconductor things, and all of it was about building plumbing and infrastructure for what you have today anywhere in the world. And I'm really lucky and I'm very blessed to do what I do because I try to spend about 20% of my time doing this because I learn more, I believe I learn more from doing what I do with these startups than what I hope I do when I mentor. And I happen to reside where I live in San Antonio. I work at a co-working space. It's called Geekdom. It's the largest collaborative workspace in the state of Texas. We have Techstars Cloud, and I get to meet, and I'm surrounded by really, really, really smart people. And what I'm hoping to help you with this week, and where I want some actionable results, is to teach you some very simple methods, some very simple principles about how to become better storytellers. Because after you build your code and in the process of building your product, chances are there's 30 to 50 other companies doing kind of sort of maybe sort of like what you're doing. And what I discovered in doing what I do is that when I help companies build their narrative, help them share their story, speak from their heart, speak from their soul. There's VCs lurking around, kind of looking at what you're doing and listening to you. There's journalists that are looking to cover interesting topics or trending subjects. And when I go through this method, my clients get discovered by press. My clients get found by journalists. They find strategic partners. And so some of this random stuff that starts happening doesn't become so random. It really becomes purposeful. And as you're trying to build a global startup, if you learn to speak, if you learn to write like you speak and you start building your narrative now, chances are it'll not only help shape the positioning of your company and of your product, but it'll build your brand. It can help build your culture as you grow. And what you're really doing in this process is leaving what I call sort of digital breadcrumbs behind you. So I'm going to show you some very simple ways to tune into journalists, listen to them, how to leave comments behind, how to be discovered, how to pitch, and hopefully what I call rise above the code. So thank you for having me here. I will tell you, this morning someone asked me if they could interview me about my impressions, and I thought it was a little too early to do that, but I will tell you that every morning I wake up here, there is something special, literally and figuratively, in the air. There's something in the air here that's interesting and changing, and so I'm here to discover for the next 5 days, help you guys, and hopefully make some kind of contribution to learning to tell your story, share your insights, and be discovered, shared, and found by the media. Thanks. Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
So, my family comes from Bet Sahur, a small town in Palestine. His family is from Israel. We met in Ramallah last year. I was surprised how open-minded you are and how a good storyteller you are, Alan. And you help Palestinian startups like you guys telling a better story. Talk to this guy. Talk to him. He will tell you how to pitch better. So next, I believe, you said you want to be the last. So, okay, so Mikhail Kopek. Come on, guys. This is a designer with money.
Not yet. Don't trust this guy, but I probably know that already. So my name is Michał Kopek, and I live in the Bay Area right now. I'm a designer, which means I fight for the users. So is there any designers in the room? Yeah, there's a couple of them. Yeah, we need more of you guys, certainly. So I want to tell you a story of my personal experience of working with companies, mostly startups. And I think I have to admit, guys, that I really think high of you, because starting your own business and starting your own startup is damn hard, and you have to admit that. So over the years, I've noticed that you're putting a lot of your hard time and effort into building things, and I think this is what geeks really excel at building things, and you're really awesome at that. And I think it'd be also awesome if you have someone on your team bothering you always with this why question, like, why is that you're building the product, right? Like, who is your audience? Who are the people on the other side of the table? Who are the people actually who are going to be using your product? And I think this is one of the most important things probably that you can do as you're building your business. Always remember that you're building it for people and that there is a human on the other side. So technology and the product that you guys developing is just a tool to reach someone. And now, I mean, ideally, you want to evoke emotions. You want that person on the other side of the product to feel something, and you want to facilitate that emotion, right? You want to elicit that emotion. And I think this is something that designers are really good at, because designers actually talk to people, and they empathize with people, and they understand a little bit of this, what is the emotion that they go through as they experience your product. So what I'm here for, it's not only to help you guys to talk to real people, meaning not geeks, I'm sorry, but there's real people out there, and we really need to talk to them and get feedback on your product, but also understand a little bit about this emotional response to your product and what makes people really tick when they use your product. So I'm here to help you with that, also learn from you, and I think it's really awesome. So I'm looking forward to the journey. Thank you.
So we were in a party. We do party too in San Francisco, and there's this startup, and there's a couple of friends, and they come to Michal and said, and he asked, "Hey, what do you do?" And they start telling all the features and tools of the of the startup, and he was like, please shut up. Why don't you tell me? This is a typical mistake in startups. Don't tell me what you do. Tell me what's the benefit of it. And he was like, I'm drinking beer, having fun, blah blah blah. I met a guy. And he's blowing your mind out. So talk to Michal. It's not only design. He knows how to listen, and very good feedback too. So I believe Umberto is the next one. A big applause for Umberto Matsuda from Performa Investimento. Do not sing the rumba papal, okay?
Oh, hi everybody. My name is Humberto Matsuda. I'm from Brazil. I'm one of the managing partners at Performa Investimentos, which is a venture capital firm in São Paulo. We have about $100 million under management, and we're probably one of the few Brazilian funds that are investing outside Brazil right now. All those mentors here who were giving you good news about what they're about to help you, I'm the bad guy. I'm the one who will be telling you what you guys are doing wrong, especially helping you to understand that sometimes the first decisions that you're gonna make regarding your businesses will contaminate everything towards your success or your failure, right? So you have to understand that sometimes small decisions that you're going to make this week, and the following week, and the next month could be the cause that you were unable to raise money later, following round, Series B, Series C, whenever. Also, I intend to be the guy who will be trying to kick you out of your comfort zones and understand that Chile is not everything, right? The world is way bigger, and for the majority of the entrepreneurs that are going to be backed by this program or any VCs, you should be thinking bigger. One last thing that I need you guys to understand is that not only we are selecting companies, you guys need to learn and understand the process so you can start selecting your investors, because those guys can also be either missionaries or mercenaries. One thing that I hope to accomplish this week, talking to as much as entrepreneurs I'm able to talk to, is to create a sense of reality that the dream about becoming an entrepreneur is wonderful, but it's a painful process. And if you're not willing to take that pain, work that pain, and turn into something bigger that will drive you to a much higher success or much higher level, then you guys have a bigger problem rather than your products or services or whatever, right? So whenever you feel that what people are telling you is always nice and you're feeling that you could have a little bit more of bitter perspective about what really is going on, please talk to me. I have no problems telling people what I don't think that's gonna make sense. But I also have in mind that I don't know everything. I'm not a know-it-all person, and I'm just here trying to help you guys. So if eventually any one of you feels that I am being too harsh or sometimes even mean, right? That's not the intention. It's just a way for you to understand that this is the dome. You're being taken care here, but the purpose of whatever you're doing is to be outside making something way bigger, make a much stronger stance. Thank you.